This video is for day 3, STEM plots, chapter 5a. It's about making a STEM plot and describing it using SOCS. All right, STEM and leaf plots. Okay, they're a visual representation of the data. Okay, it uses numbers that are split into 2 parts. So we try to find a stem and a leaf part of each number. Okay, it's for quantitative variables, so it's for number answers, and it's good when the data is spread out. Okay, it's better than a dot plot when the data is spread out because dot plots would need a really long number line. So if your data is like 0 to 100, it's better to use a stem and leaf plot. All right, so the first one says, how many pairs of shoes do you have at your house? All right, every graph this chapter will need titles, so this will just be pairs of shoes owned. Every STEM plot needs a key, and that's what we'll look at to the right. Okay, stems can have several digits, but leaves must be a single digit. So we have to kind of put an example, 2 and then 6, and what that would translate to. So 2 and then the stem, a stem of 2 and a leaf of 6 would mean 26 pairs of shoes. This is an important step because you have to make sure you're telling the reader exactly what your graph is saying. It could mean 2.6, it could mean 26, it could mean 260. That's what your key is there to show. Okay, then we just go in order. Every second digit is a leaf. Every leaf is one piece of data. So one thing to make sure you do is put the leaves in order, which we'll talk about here right now. We would start with all the numbers that start with a 1. So all the numbers between 10 and 20. And we want to make sure those leaves are put in order. So it looks like we have a bunch of 13s. Every 13 gets its own leaf. And then we're going to go in order. So we want the 5 next because it's smaller than the 9, which means 19. Okay, then we're on the 20s. So we find all the 20s. And then we put those in order. Oops, there's another one. So the smallest 20 that I see is 22, and then I see 2 23s, and then a 24, and then 2 26s, and that is it for the 20s. Then we move to the 30s. Okay, the 30s, we have a 31, a 34, a 30, and a 38. So the smallest one of those is 30. Then we have 31, 34, and 38. Okay, there's only one number in the 40s, 49. And then we're on the 50s. That's everything left. I have 2 50s, so 2 zeros, a 51, and a 57. Okay, so this is a stem and leaf plot of how many pairs of shoes these people had at their house. Now we can evaluate it with SOCS the same way that we might do a dot plot from the other day. Okay. So the next couple, we'll do the stem plots again, but we'll also describe the overall pattern. When it says to do that in your directions, that is telling you that you need to do SOCS, S-O-C-S. All right, let's do this again. So this is about test scores in English class. The smallest leaf I see is 23. The biggest leaf I see is 105, okay? So that means I could do stems like this, 7 stem 1, 5 stem 8. So I need to have 2 be my smallest stem. I need to have 10 be my biggest stem. So I need every number between 2 and 10. And then those are my stems. The leaves will vary. Okay, I didn't leave myself a lot of room for a title, so this is going to be English scores. Okay, my key, I'll just do right here, right at the top. Pick one, 7 as a stem, 1 as a leaf. That translates to 71% on the test. So that's what that would be. Okay, and then we make our picture from there. Okay, we have a title, even though I kind of had to squeeze that in. Then we have a key. All right, so I'm going to start in the 20s. I have a 23, and that's it. Okay, I have nothing in the 30s, nothing in the 40s. Now I'm up to the 50s. I have a 58, and that's it. Now I'm up to the 60s. I see a few of them. I see a 61, a 62, a 63, a 65, and a 67. Now I'm up to the 70s. I see two 71s and a 72, and that's it. Now I'm up to the 80s. I see an 80 and three 82s. And lastly, I have this 105. Okay, nothing in the 90s. Okay, that's my STEM plot. Now it's time for SOCS, S-O-C-S. Okay, for the first S, that shape, you're trying to look at what we have here. Okay, I would say that that looks roughly symmetric. With potential outliers, maybe 23, maybe 105. So we say they're potential outliers. The C is for center, and that's the median. So we have to know first how many scores this was, so how many leaves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This is 15 leaves. So if I cut that in half, I get 7.5. I'm looking for the 8th leaf. So starting from the beginning, okay, 23 is the first leaf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that leaf right there is exactly in the center, and that one represents 71%. So half the kids did worse than 71, half the kids did better than 71. The last S is for spread. That's the smallest score to the largest score. So see how that's a very big spread? So the dot plot would have had to go all the way from 23 to 105, which is why we didn't want to make a dot plot. Okay, one last example, and that's already it for today. So make a STEM plot from the data and describe the overall pattern. So again, they do want us to do SOCS, okay, anytime it says that. All right, so this one is decimals, which is still good to look at. So you can make the last digit your leaf. So 3.9 is how we could set that one up. So the smallest stem I need, the smallest number before a decimal point is 3. And then the biggest one is a 5. So I just need to have 3, 4, and 5. This is hand length. And we're going to go from there. So we need to start with the 3.5. Oh, this is in inches. That might be something good to put in the title. And then our key will be that 3 as a stem, 9 as a leaf. That equals 3.9 inches. Okay, it's good to have a key. All right, so for the 3s, we have a 3.5, a 3.8, another 3.8, and a 3.9. Those are done. For the 4s, I see a 4.0, a 4.1, 2 4.2s, a 4.3, a 4.4, a 4.6, and a 4.8. For the 5s, I see a 5.0, 1, 2, 4, 4, 4, and 5. Okay, that's the picture, SOCS, to describe the pattern. The first S, I would argue this is pretty symmetrical again. Okay, it doesn't look like we have a tail to either side. I would say that there's no apparent outliers. We don't have any numbers that are way further away than any others. The center is halfway between the data. So we should count how many leaves. We have 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's 19 numbers here. Cut that in half, and you get 9.5. So we're looking for the 10th leaf. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's the 10th leaf. Okay, there should be the same amount of numbers above it and below it. So that is representing 4.4 inches. And our spread would be the smallest to the largest hand in the class. So that's what you need to know for STEM plots. Take that information and work through the worksheet. Thanks for watching.